Coming up is the single most complicated visual effects shot in the entire Star Trek series. It actually was originally the last shot of the first title sequence for The Cage, the original pilot episode. It's the Enterprise zipping through space, but then the camera dives in to the bridge, sees into the dome, and actually goes into the dome. It was absolutely cutting edge for 1964.
But unfortunately, it doesn't hold up at all. The angle that the Enterprise is at versus the angle they had the camera on a crane at, it just totally doesn't match. So when we went to CBS Digital, the first thing we talked to them about was this shot. We said, look, this is coming, and you guys got to get on it now. And they assigned somebody. I think that poor guy was just working full-time on rotoing out and just figuring out how to do it.
Basically duplicating the emotion on the original animation of the ship and then blending seamlessly with the original on-set photography.
We had them go in and digitally recreate the bridge. We had them create digital characters, and then they seamlessly melded those digital characters into the live-action characters, allowing us to put the digital Enterprise in the shot in a way that we could make its angle match the original angle of the camera.
For some episodes, they actually had the original camera negative film. This one they didn't, obviously. All they had was the finished actual image. So what CBS Digital had to do was they not only did they build a digital Enterprise, but they built a digital bridge. They had digital characters in there, and they had to seamlessly cut from the digital characters walking across the screen to Jeffrey Hunter and Leonard Nimoy.
I think it took them like 6 weeks. I mean, they were working on it. We were coming in and looking at early episodes, Balance of Terror, et cetera, but they were still working on this for Menagerie because technically it was so difficult.
I gotta say, I'm not entirely sure how a radio wave is gonna cause a starship to go wonky, but one of the things in the original, because again, they were just learning how to do starfields, and it was cutting edge back then. The original starfield, they literally just flopped it, and they looked like a big Rorschach test. So we had our friends from CBS Digital rotoscope out the screens and put a new starfield in, and then recreate the shimmer.
Sir, can't be the screen then. Definitely something this way.
Could be these meteoroids.
No, it's something else. There's still something out there.
Sir? Steady as we go. It's a radio wave, sir.
So now we're in Pike's quarters. Look at the back wall, you see that there's a window. Now in the original 1964 pilot, The Cage, all they did was have a backing and they shined a green light.
And we thought to ourselves, why is that a pulsating green square? I mean, the fact that it was green led us to think that maybe it was some kind of area for a window, so why not? They're moving in space. This is the Enterprise's first voyage, this is first experience for these people. Let's give them a window.
What's that? I didn't say there's anything wrong with me. That's right. Unless we... You bet. I'm tired of being responsible for 203 lives, and I'm tired of deciding which mission is too risky and which isn't, and who's going on the landing party and who doesn't, and who lives, and who dies. Oh, I've had it, Phil.
To the place arrest leave.
To the point of considering resigning.
Do what?
Well, for one thing, go home. Nice little town with 50 miles of parkland around it. Remember I told you I had 2 horses? We used to take some food and ride out all day.
Picnic lunch every day.
I said that's one place I might go.
We're approaching planet Talos 4, and one of the very cool things we're able to do is make all the planets more realistic, or at least more interesting than they were in the original.
We have now the chance to really start giving you alien worlds. The key with planets is listening to the dialogue, because often there's a report on the planet. There's a planet where Spock says there are cyclones and volcanic activity, and there are planets that say they're ice planets. And so you have to listen to the dialogue to get this, and what we learn is that Talos is kind of a dead planet. And so we wanted to tie that in. And one of the things you have to do is you have to go down and look at the backdrop curtain that they hang behind everyone, because that is usually an indicating color of how we'll do some of the atmosphere when you see the planet. If it's kind of a greenish cyclorama, we'll do more of a greenish atmosphere. And so we take these things and put them all together and give them to Max at CBS Digital, and he just starts crafting these planets, and it's really a lot of fun to see a new realistic looking Enterprise pull into a realistic orbit around a realistic planet. It's just really really cool.
We've settled into orbit, sir. Rise out as rounded metal bits. Could be parts of a spaceship hull.
Equip a landing party of 6.
Some of the effects are actually pretty subtle. In a few moments, those scientists are going to disappear. And in the original, it was the camera stopped, the background changed a little bit. Here, thanks to the compositors at CBS, they cleaned it up and added a little shimmer and made it look a little nicer.
Perfect choice.
The inhabitants of this planet must live deep underground, probably manufacture food and other needs down there. Now, our tests indicate the planet...
The castle was originally a matte painting done by, we believe, Albert Whitlock Jr., who is one of the great matte artists in film history. For the purposes here, we asked Max Gable, our matte artist, to do a few minor revisions. There's a little subtle shimmer on the water. But for the most part, it's such an iconic image, we wanted to pretty much preserve it the way it was. If you look, actually, Max added a little more texture to the rocks. He made the castle walls a little more realistic. But for the most part, he tried to preserve the original painting.
Come. Hurry. It's deserted. There'll be weapons and perhaps food.